Miles west of the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, where the host Mexico beat South Africa 2-0 earlier. 3 red cards in that game. We're hoping for a few goals and maybe not so many red cards tonight, but who knows what's in store for us. They're hoping for a quiet night in the VAR booth. I'm quite sure about that. Well, this is how South Korea line up tonight. In goal for them, the Tokyo FC keeper Kim Sung-kyu, but the name that jumps off the team sheet is that of the captain, Heung-min, who's not had the most productive season in MLS at LAFC, at least in terms of goal scoring. But the other big creative name to look out for is Lee Kang-in, currently at Paris Saint-Germain. Their defensive rock is Bayern Munich's towering 6'3" defender, Kim Min-jae, described as one of the finest centre-backs that Asia has produced. For Czechia, it's Matej Kovar in goal. Much of Czechia's goal-scoring hopes rest on the shoulders of proven striker Patrik Schick, supported by the Czech Footballer of the Year, Pavel Schulz, who plays for Lyon. The big surprise tonight is that Alexander Sojka starts, having only been capped in the middle of May for the first time. Vladimir Coufal provides experience and exceptional crossing ability from the right. Defender Ladislav Krejci and midfielder Tomas Souček have both just been relegated from the Premier League with Wolves and West Ham, respectively. There is a large contingent of South Korea supporters here in Guadalajara. The majority of supporters inside this stadium are wearing the green shirts of Mexico, which no doubt they would have worn anyway, regardless of the result earlier. That is Tomas Souček, who was stripped of the captaincy of his country back in November after failing to acknowledge the travelling supporters in the 6-0 win away at Gibraltar. And there's Son Heung-min, we saw just a moment ago, carrying the hopes of the nation. But that man as well, Lee Kang-in, very creative force, as is that man, Pavel Schulz, the Lyon playmaker, looking to help Patrik Schick in terms of their goal-scoring output. And we are underway in Guadalajara, Mexico. Welcome back, Czechia, to the FIFA World Cup after a gap of a mere 2 decades. South Korea in the red tonight. They're rather more used to dining at the top table of the world game. It's their 11th successive World Cup finals appearance. Only Brazil, Germany, Argentina and Spain can beat that. And we can't beat having Warren Barton in the commentary booth with us tonight. What are you expecting here, Warren?
I think you touched on it, Jackie, earlier on. A very intriguing game. Just looking straight away with South Korea. They are playing 3 at the back, which will then allow midfield players and wing-backs, and Stu Holden touched on that in the pre-game show, about who's going to win that battle, who's going to be the player that can maybe make that decision, that cross, that time of getting into that final third with the qualities they have. And obviously with Song down the middle, he's trying to occupy the 3 Czechia, like full-backs and centre-halves as well. So there's going to be a lot of twists and turns in this game.
Positive from Czechia, Zeleny. Now here's Schulz. And a physical challenge from Lukáš Provod. Now Zeleny again. Provod once again. Krejci, captain and centre-half. Not the best cross into the box. As away by Lee Jae-sung.
Just noting there as well, Jackie, as soon as it went wide, their first fault was to cross the ball. Czechia, they're not a team that wants to play through midfield, have possession like we're going to see with Spain. They're going to go direct. They're going to put you under pressure. The one thing we noticed with the press conference yesterday with South Korea's coach is that they've been practicing that for days and hours on end. Set pieces, crosses, dealing with a physical presence. And then you look at the back 3 of Korea, they have got some size as well.
Jung Myung-bo, who is rather more popular as a player, I think it's fair to say, than he has been as a head coach. After his first spell in charge in 2014, which didn't quite go to plan, they finished bottom of the group in Brazil. And he's been invited back for a second spell, but really has to try and win over the supporters here. They're not too convinced over his tactics. A fabulous player, though, he was for his national side.
I wasn't too convinced with his press conference as well. He wasn't very upbeat. You know, it's the first game. You want to set a tone, even the players, but also a coach. You want to come into a press conference as if like you're enjoying it. It's a great occasion. We're lucky enough to be in Guadalajara for a couple of days, and everywhere you walk around, it's the World Cup, the colours, and obviously with Mexico kicking off today, it was silent for 2 hours while the game was going on, and obviously when the goals went in, the place erupted. So, you know, go out there, embrace yourself. As Son was saying in his article that we had there, he's happy, he wants to impress people, he wants to make people happy.
Yeah, that's something of an understatement there about the demeanour of the head coach. And I think the theory was that perhaps he comes alive rather more in the dressing room, the locker room, than he does in a press conference.
Yeah. But on the opposite side, got to make the coach, he was very upbeat. He's 70+ years of age. He was looking forward to it. He was joking with the media. And I think you can tell that with his team. You know, they are going to be... I always think that the team mirror what the coach is, his personality. Yes, they're going to be disciplined, rigid and all that, but they're going to express themselves. Schultz, a young 15-year-old, is at Lyon. He's a player to watch.
Yeah, wearing the number 15 tonight, Pavel Schultz, 25 years of age. Really exciting talent. He replaced Ryan Cherky there last summer. And that's not the sort of ball you would expect that Son Heung-min would be wanting to chase this evening.
Yeah, he wants to go in behind, but you've got to give him a chance.
Krejci's ball forward. On the chase. It has been a fabulous welcome here in Guadalajara from the locals, hasn't it? They are so likeable around here, so welcoming, so happy the World Cup is here. And delighted, of course. You'd have seen the pictures in our show earlier on Fox, the fan park and the Mexico supporters enjoying that first game. Not the best performance from South Africa, was it?
They looked nervy. They looked like the occasion was too much for them, and obviously with Mexico getting the goals as they did earlier on, that settled them all down. It was interesting what Clint Dempsey said in the studio about when you play at this altitude. Okay, it's not what you've seen in Azteca, but it is still at altitude at a mile high. When you try and drive a ball that you see there as a defender, you overhit it. It goes into a little bit. So that may be something in the first 10-15 minutes where you see players overpass it. Maybe the pass of the weight is too heavy, but there's no doubt as soon as they get that 15-20 minutes under their belt, get that second bit of wind, and then you can start being a little bit more composed.
Here's Paik, plays for Birmingham City in the second tier in England. Lee Kang-in, the number 19, for career in the red tonight. Really one of their main creative forces. A rather more straightforward qualification process for the Koreans. Haven't played a competitive fixture for almost a year now. Qualified pretty comfortably, scoring 50 goals across the 2 qualification stages, 13 different goal scorers. Still not necessarily that convincing. They did draw at home to the likes of Oman, Palestine and Jordan, and that's why there are still question marks. Oh, it's a lovely ball from Lee Kang-in. Now, what's going to come of this? They have bodies in the box. Son is waiting in the centre.
Just maybe wanted it a little bit earlier. But you're right, the PSG player, him is getting on the ball, spraying it there. And the more he gets in the ball and starts going into areas and asks the Czechia players to either pick him up in midfield or the fullback picks him up, there's different areas. The more he gets the ball, the better it is. And he'll have the freedom, because Son will try and occupy the 3 Czechia defenders.
Nothing given by our referee Amin Mohammed. It's a largely Egyptian officiating team tonight. Although we do have the American Joe Dickerson in the VAR booth as an assistant official from North California, representing the USA, as will the men tomorrow against Paraguay, a game we're hugely looking forward to. Of course, it's live on Fox. Just the 3 hours of build-up.
I'm not sure whether I'm looking forward to the build-up like we see today, the 3 hours, or the actual game, because that was very entertaining today. So you've got a lot to beat tomorrow, but I know the whole crew will be out there looking forward to it. We'll be probably on a plane somewhere going to our next game. But yeah, really, really big game. Big game for Canada as well. They want to hit the ground running. They want to do well for Jesse Mars. Now, what you're seeing now, Jackie, at the moment is both group of players just getting used to the conditions. You know, they've not had the opportunity to play on the field. Czechia only arrived yesterday morning, afternoon. They've not had a chance to really climatise with it. Sometimes, the scientists say, that could be a better thing, rather than being here. But I believe, like Kylie Lloyd said, with Korea, that it's better to be here, better to get climatised as they did in Utah and then come here. They're going to be based here as well.
Here comes South Korea. Lee Kang-in. He's busy, industrious, skillful.
And dropping deeper to get the ball.
Song Young-woo finding Lee Kang-in again. And this time, Heung-min Mohammed gives a free kick.
Here's an interesting thing as well with Czechia. You know, yes, they're very, very good with set pieces, attacking them. But in the playoff game, they conceded 3 of their goals from set pieces against. So as much as they've got that ability to score goals, they've also got an ability to concede goals, which is very, very surprising when you look at the size and the stature of the players that they had against Denmark, against Ireland. Now, conceding goals from a set piece when you're normally very dominant.
Oh, will it be the left foot of Lee Kang-in? No, he leaves it for Son, and not the best delivery from Son, but they get another bite of the apple. Offside flag staying down. And plenty of height in this central defence, not to mention Thomas Souček in the midfield. There's height everywhere you look, particularly in the Czech side. 6'4", and then the 6'2" Hranach, 6'3" Krejci in defence.
You wouldn't want to bump into them in an alleyway, I'll tell you. And then you look at Song, if he pulls out wide, there's no one down the middle.
There you can see the average heights, respectively, of the two sides. There is some height in the defence, though, for South Korea. 6'3", the number 2, Lee Han-bom. And the 6'3" monster, as they call him, the Bayern Munich centre-half, Kim Min-jae, wearing number 4. Now Song Young-woo, the South Korean commentators to our left, got very excited for a moment there. It is very close. We talked about the altitude. It is warm, very, very humid.
Well, you're probably hot because you've had 15 different equipments you've had to assemble and drag up into the hill. But, you know, set pieces again. We've seen it earlier on with Mexico. Jimenez getting his first World Cup goal, which I'm delighted for him. Great servant for Mexico. And now this is one that they would have worked on, as we said with Korea. The coach has said they've had hours on the training field doing that, being very disciplined. They've crowded the 6-yard box, but then they've got some runners on the far area as well.
And there's some real height, over 6 foot from both sides in this penalty box, awaiting this delivery from Lee Kang-in.
Yeah, you can see the frustration with the free kick specialist coach. As Shakovi said, the 2 times they've had the opportunity, South Korea, they've hit the first man. You've got to give your team the opportunity.
Miroslav Kobek, just on the edge of his technical area for Czechia, making his World Cup debut at the age of 74, and there's an error there. Just took his eye off the ball, did Halopek.
Yeah, you said actually, Jackie, about there's a lot of height, but also there's a lot of inexperience, particularly in that defensive area, you know, wide areas as well, limited with caps. You can only imagine how nervous these players are. The first game, they've been sitting around waiting, see the game earlier on. So, you know, I think that you look at the moment, South Korea, particularly with this gentleman getting on the ball.
That's a lovely looking ball. And a chance, an excellent block from Hranach to deny South Korea the opening goal of the game.
Well, again, it's wonderful movement. He's dropped deep, he's definitely onside. What a run, but just his touch brings it back, and it's desperate defending in the end as Song tries to hit the back of the net. But it's lifted everybody around. It's been quite quiet at the moment. Here's the referee's look, and he's just getting in. But what a block, you're right, Jackie. Magnificent defending.
Bite Sok, good looking ball in that time.
They're starting to feel it now, South Korea. I touched on the point with their set pieces. They can feel it as well, the fans. They've been so excited for the last couple of days. Good delivery. Just can't turn his body to get enough of an angle to hit the target. But there's a little sign. You can see a little bit of a grabbing of the shirt there as well.
Well, Lee Han-bom, one of the 2 men you really do want on the end of that ball in. One of the 2 6'3" centre-halves for South Korea. There's a man who's been in the headlines of this tournament, Gianni Infantino, president of FIFA. And here is Son, who had that opportunity a moment ago, but it's South Korea on the attack once again. Lee Jae-sung of Mainz in Germany.
It was surprising when Lee Jae-sung, when he broke through with that little third-man run, that his touch was poor. He's a very experienced player, quality player as well. They look so much more comfortable on the ball now. You know, you look at the options, the system that they play. We wasn't sure whether it was a 4 or a 3, but they've adjusted much, much better on the ball.
And here they come again. Lee Kang-in stinging the fingers of Mate Kovar. And he is by far the busier of the two goalkeepers.
Yeah, no wonder they're applauding each other. Because you can just feel they want the ball, they're feeling the rhythm, they're shooting from distance. You can see the swerve and the dip of the ball. And it's a decent save, but again, they're turning up the heat, they're asking the questions. He gets a good view of it. So as a goalkeeper, you would say, but they're saying, do you put pressure on the ball? Do you back off? If you allow them to back off, they're going to have a shot. You put pressure on the ball, they might play a little ball in behind you. They've got them guessing now.
The deliveries so far have not been on point, but they get another opportunity here. Lee Kang-in once more. Can he deliver this time? Lee Kang-in off the training ground, this one. And away by Sofal. Well, they really have their tails up. But when you have these spells in a match, Warren Barton, you need to score, because how many times do we see a side really take the game to the opposition, don't take advantage in terms of getting on the score sheet, and then get punished?
Yeah, I think one of the things they have to do is still be patient. You know, don't make the mistakes, because you allow this opportunity.
Like that one. Here's Provod in space. Provod in towards Patrik Schick.
Great defending again. You know, just sensing danger. You touched on the point what he does at Bayern Munich. And he sniffs out the danger. He knows Czech's going to make that run, and he blocks them off. And that's why things can turn around a little bit sloppy with the ball. But the ball, go back. The coach will be delighted with the response. He knows there's going to be moments in the game they need to defend well.
Now, Sofal. And a good-looking delivery. Have they just been listening to us in commentary? We were saying about not taking advantage, and then maybe something else happened, and now going from back to front with Son claiming the offside. And it's Schultz, who was back there helping out the defence, and there's a clear shove in the back on Son by Schultz.
That's a typical attacker coming back defending. You know, just, you don't have to foul. He's not facing anywhere. He just pushing the back. Son can feel it. He goes down. Now they've got a decent delivery again. Now, defending is sometimes being patient, but attackers don't know. They try and get in there to help the team, and all he's done, Schultz, is caused a major problem, because we're right behind this, and there's a lovely corridor just to fizz it in. I think maybe with that left foot, as long as they can beat the first man.
Well, Lee Kang-in has been heavily involved in everything positive that South Korea have done so far tonight here in Guadalajara.
They'll try and whip it into that far post, and hopefully someone gets a touch.
Son leaves it for Lee Kang-in.
We're going to blame that on the altitude. Okay, we'll give him the benefit because he's been doing well. It's poor at the moment, but you know, Clint did say that. Clint Dempsey said it takes a bit of time because, you know, the air is thinner, it takes longer for the players to recover, and the first thing you go when you are a little bit fatigued is the mental side of it.
It's going to be really interesting in the closing stages here tonight. I mean, Czechia have been based in Dallas, which is...
It's a 3-hour flight as well. You know, it's not only the conditions, altitude, but the, you know, there's sitting on the plane for 3 hours. They only got there yesterday morning stroke afternoon.
And then they have to sit in a press conference with us. Well, that's not a surprise based on what we've seen so far. possession in the top left-hand corner. Czechia will be buoyed by the fact that they haven't been punished as yet, and the fact that they did manage to create an opportunity for themselves. A half chance for Schick, but it was excellent defending at the time. And now Lee Ki-hyuk, one of the players who plays domestically in the K-League.
What a ball that is as well. But it also has possession with a purpose.
Provo not being closed down quickly here. He had time. The flag went up. A couple of times he's had plenty of time and space to be able to deliver a ball in.
Yeah, again, it might be a little bit of nerves. He's a little bit lazy getting back. As I said, it was a good ball played out to him, but you could just see there, you've got to get back. But it is that time of the game now. You can see, look, the fatigue, breathing heavy, as Stuart Holden rightly said. It does take you that 15, 20, 25 minutes, particularly that you've not been used to it.
And the Mexican wave is going around the stadium here in Guadalajara.
It's a wonderful place. It's not only they love their soccer here, but just the people, the food. We haven't had the drinks yet, yet.
Speak for yourself.
Was that you in the minibar? I wasn't sure what was going on there.
The tequila we tried the other night.
Oh, sorry. There's no secrets with you, is there?
Well, we are only 35 miles away from the town of Tequila here. Here's the birthplace of that drink. And that challenge had a bit of a kick from Kim Min-jae. The monster. Provod, the player, to be clattered.
Yep. We've said about how strong and how competitive he is. He's letting the opposition know there's not going to be an easy ride. Be interesting to see what happens with him, with the signings that they've made at Bayern Munich. There's so much competition at that club. But this is a stage where
his teammates with central defender Robin Kranach and Adam Hošek as well.
He's letting the opposition know there's not going to be an easy ride. Be interesting to see what happens with him, with the signings that they've...
This one's not bad. Schick was so nearly on the end of it.
That's obviously worked for South Korea, because, as I said, they've been working on it, and there's their captain getting them up the field as well. They're not sitting back, inviting pressure. Look at the distance between them and their goalkeeper. It's 20, 30 yards away.
So far. Not getting too tight to him, but...
close to the opposition, so they're going to keep chipping away.
This time it's the left-footed Soiko with the delivery. Oh, and Socek was arriving late. How many times have we seen that over the years? But usually with a header, but he is very adept within the 6-yard box.
Yeah, it was a different type of ball as well, a little bit flatter, more whipped in than just hung up there, and that caught a couple of defenders out. In the end, he just wasn't able to get too much. Contact to difficult height, maybe could have just opened his body up slightly and gone with his right foot. I think the head in the hand says it all. When any young player, watching someone like Song, the captain, 33 years of age, chasing down, chasing lost call. He's not necessarily running to get the ball, but he's running to put the opposition off and create space for people.
Well, the players now pausing for their scheduled hydration break. We'll be right back.
if you're looking for the future of football, it's gonna be me.
Capaz que no sabe quién soy todavía. Pero pronto lo vas a saber.
Aw, that's cute. I'm gonna be iconic.
The future is already here. Next starts now.
Verizon Business, FIFA World Cup, 16 stadiums, 3 countries, and the whole planet watching? Of course. We'll take it from here.
This is the biggest, most technologically complex FIFA World Cup ever!
We'll start with private 5G networks, 80,000 miles of fiber, and end-to-end security.
Check. Check. Check.
It's game time. Who's got next?
If we can do this for the FIFA World Cup, imagine what we can do for your business.
Mexico with a brilliant play.
There's watching Mexico, and then there's experiencing Mexico. With Platinum, make your trip one to remember with the largest curated global hotel program. And at fine hotels and resorts, complimentary third night offers. And guaranteed 4 p.m. late checkout. Because you deserve a little extra stoppage time. For a life like no other, you need a card like no other. There's nothing like Platinum.
To dream the impossible dream.
You think the U.S. is gonna win the World Cup?
Hey, you don't believe in miracles?
It's match day 1 of the largest ever FIFA World Cup. And South Korea have had the better of the first period before that much-needed hydration break, but they're straight in the thick of the action once again. Sol Young-woo with the cross. And the flag going up. And Ladislav Krejci pointing out to the assistant he wanted it to go up a little earlier.
Yeah, we spoke before the game about different tactics and systems. One thing with South Korea, probably more than any team in this tournament, there's 48 teams, their strikers and their players want to run in behind. We've seen the modern game now. Everybody wants it to feet. They want to keep the ball. They want to have it to possession and go. Not this team. They want to go, I wouldn't say direct, but they want to hurt the opposition. They want to get in behind. They want to ask questions. They might get caught offside 2, 3, 4 times. But on the 5th time...
So Pavel Schultz, you can see what's happened there. He got his shirt pulled and completely ripped off his back, and he's been told, hurry up and go and change. Well, the kit manager must have been altitude training as well, because he was pretty lively there, having that ready for action, and he's just waiting to be called back on. Not his fault, of course, that he had his shirt pulled back, so you'd expect him to be allowed to go straight back on.
That was magnificent by the kit man.
I know he is. Impressive, wasn't it? Good work. Away by Paik, given away is Socek, trying to dink it over the top towards Schick, who has only really had that one opportunity so far.
Yeah, but I think he expects that, you know, he can keep hold of the ball. He's not a striker that's going to run in behind. He wants it to fit. They would expect for the first 20-odd minutes to suffer a little bit.
Zeleny. Oh, it's a lovely little flick from Schick, looking for Provod.
See, for me as a teammate, I'm saying get hold of it. Keep the ball. Don't keep flicking. We don't have it long enough. So get hold of the ball for us and try and get us up the field a little bit. Yes, it looks good and you might get a move from the crowd, but keep hold of the ball.
Well, I hope you're looking forward to tomorrow, because we're looking forward to tomorrow. After match day 1 follows the United States opening up their World Cup campaign, and they're facing off against Paraguay live on Fox. Our coverage starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. That's 3 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, good luck to everybody, John and Stuart as well.
Oh, it wasn't the best ball from Hwang In-bom. Socek, least experienced player, and that was a great deal in that, was there on Schultz. Enough of a touch.
I just love his energy and enthusiasm, Schultz. Yes, he's a young player at Lyon and chipping in with 11 goals this season, but we've seen enough of him, particularly in the playoffs game. His energy to run in, his enthusiasm to make something happen. And even something like this just gives you a bit of time to get up the field, make sure everybody's secure at the back, and that you can take the opportunity. It's not the first ball, it might be the second ball.
Soika. Comes out to Sufal. Now here's Hranach, his Hoffenheim teammate. Sufal again, looking for Schultz. His work rate's been exceptional. We haven't really seen him in key areas, though, able to hurt this South Korea defence as yet. Oh, that's not the best ball at all from the youngster Soika, but Kalupek did well. Free kick, South Korea.
Yeah, I don't mind that from Czechia. You know, sometimes if the ball's not wanting to go forward, you can always go back, start again, reset, see where the position is in midfield. Can you then maybe play him behind and just give South Korea's midfield players something to think about? You know, did we close down? Did we sit off? Just been a little bit predictable at the moment.
Reminder, it's Czechia's first World Cup finals appearance in 20 years. They're claiming a free kick. They're not happy they didn't get it, and Czechia look to try and take advantage with Zeleny. Nice little touch from him. Still Zeleny. Schultz.
Well played.
So Czech finding the Leon man again. Kalupek. Kalupek, by the way, was born with a cleft palate and can only breathe through one nostril. So talking about breathing being difficult here, I do wonder whether it might have an effect on him. Perhaps it's on stage, but he's been chosen tonight instead of Tomáš Holeš.
They just look a little bit rushed sometimes. They get 5-6 passes, check it, and then it's a little bit panic, you know. Calm. Half a second in any sport is a long time. Just breathe a little bit. Listen, it's easier said than done. I'm standing up here. You know, they're playing at the biggest stage of their career.
Yeah, we got the lift.
They're just starting to press now as well. They're starting to South Korea now. Right, you've had a go at us. Now we've sort of figured it out.
It shows you those possession stats a little earlier. It's really changed now with South Korea only having 53% compared to the 34% of Czechia. They have the no possession in the middle, which is 13%, but they're growing into the game. And it's perhaps not a surprise, feeling their way into it. The nerves you talked about only arrived yesterday from Dallas. No altitude training whatsoever. Didn't even train on the pitch. Neither of these sides did. Burning off some nervous energy. Not getting many touches on the ball early on, but they're just growing into the game.
They're resilient. They've shown that in the playoffs. They find a way to hang on in there, to get the opportunity.
This is asking some questions of Lee Hee-kyuk. How's this going?
Very optimistic, and I think the smile says it all. But again, I love the enthusiasm, I love the anticipation. They look, the Korean fans look a bit nervous. They was all in good spirit before, walking around the centre yesterday, and it was great seeing like a family, the mum, the dad, and the two daughters, head to toe in the uniform, in the kit, and just walking around and enjoying the environment.
Krejci's guided ball forwards, lands at the feet of Schultz. Just get a feeling he's going to have more of a say as this game grows. Schultz and Schick as well. Schultz on the chase.
The problem they're getting, Czechia, is their delivery into him. You can see there, they're calm, just give it to my feet. You know, they're just quickly just getting rid of the ball. You've got time to get it into his feet. They want it. They're not going to run behind. It's not Song where they're going to try and penetrate in behind.
Schultz, a player who's come through real adversity as well. When he was 7, his big brother, who he adores, 7 years older, Patty, was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, but only a while after he woke up one morning and simply couldn't move. He literally could not move, and he had to learn to even move his fingers. It took all day physio for months and months, and as he ended up being a footballer, he found it really hard being away from his big brother. And it was really devastating for him. They're super close, and his brother's much better now. And then he had a really tough time at Victoria Pilsen as well, where he felt he didn't fit in. He was a young player, talented, missed a few chances, didn't feel supported by the other players. And then his girlfriend, Natalie, basically told him, stop feeling sorry for yourself, work harder. And that's what he did. He said, I'm just going to work harder and harder and harder, and train earlier and train later, and practice from a first touch over and over and over. And he became better and better and better. And he seems a fabulous character, Pavel Schultz. And here he is at the World Cup for the first time. Now South Korea looking to continue as they started this game. Lovely turn from Son. Now this is easy on the eye. Oh, and that would have been the ideal ball as well from Lee Tae-suk.
But again, it's that little run in behind, but excellent defending in the end.
Look out for our FIFA World Cup After Hours show. Tonight is the premiere of the FIFA World Cup 2026 show. After Hours with James Corden. That's on Fox at midnight local time. Should be lively. Are we even going to get any sleep at this World Cup? There's so much coverage to watch when we're not actually calling games and travelling. Don't want to sleep, just want to watch these games. Who's going to be the hero? Who are the new names to emerge that we haven't really heard much of yet? Players arriving on the stage for the first time. Are the big names going to shine? Is Lamine Yamal going to live up to his reputation and maybe even extend it? Is he going to be fit enough from the start? Will we have to wait a little while? As well, it's a bit of a shove on Suika, the youngster.
Yeah, he's back training, which is great for everybody. He had his first game as well, getting ready.
Who's going to win this thing?
I'll let you know in about 5 weeks. No, I think everybody says France. I think a lot of people, France, Spain, Carlo Ancelotti as well.
Oh, Souček's lost it. That was a really important touch. The Czechia to win it back. So France is your pick.
Yeah, but I'm also going to throw England in there as well. Keep Harry Kane fit, and we never know. It would be lovely for Lexi Lalas. 250 years for the Three Lions to win the World Cup.
Schultz battling away. Provod. And Zeleny for company. Here he is, the Sparta man. Now Krejci and Wolverhampton Wanderers. His teammate Hwang Hee-chan's on the bench for South Korea. Here's Zeleny. That's a good-looking ball in. And Schultz was underneath it. Maybe he thought there was a man behind him. And it's on by Sulfal. And again. Well, he didn't see anybody behind him. There was certainly nothing intentional there.
But it was very easy for Czechia to get in. Pavard gets it, Zinnia backs it out, little combination with Schultz. And it's an easy delivery to put in there. The problem is that the Czech they've only got 2 people in that penalty area. They need to try and take a chance when they go forward, but their first thought is obviously make sure they're getting at half-time. 0-0. And as you rightly said, Jackie, they've grown into the game. Whether that the conditions or the environment that there is and the expectation, but they're the ones now that are more dictating the play. They want it slower. They want the game to be not a walking pace, but at their pace. Well, you look at South Korea, the energy and the enthusiasm, they've stopped getting the ball into their midfield players. They've gone a little bit too direct.
Lee Kang in.
You need him on the ball again.
Yeah, I haven't seen him for a while, really, in the sense that we did in the first 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, and maybe that's the attitude. Maybe that, again, he's having just to get himself together, just to make sure, yes, it's OK preparing, but in terms of going to the big stage, the big opportunities.
Lee Sung. Oh, now Son in a little bit of space to make something happen! Well, had that found the back of the net, this place would have erupted.
I love it. I just love his desire. He has a little glance to see where he is. A wonderful little ball played in. He's little scanning where he is and no hesitation with the strike. OK, it goes up high and over, but it's a question being asked. We talk about him, no goals in MLS, but his assist, he works. Danny Bionga made a great career out of scoring goals. Let him do it, and Song does a lot of the hard work in behind.
Now at LAFC, of course, in MLS.
He's just a wonderful ambassador for the game. You know, we talk about role models, and we've been lucky in our generation with Messi and Ronaldo and what they've been able to do. And he's just been around doing that. Modric is the same, as Clint said. You know, these type of players that go out and perform at the highest level week in, week out.
Oh, really well read by Heung-min, and now they're on the charge. Son again with his tail up after that chance. A minute ago, Son!
He's so intelligent, because the first 35 minutes he's played up against the centre-half. This time, in the two opportunities, he's dropped deep. You don't know as a defender to go and mark it, and it doesn't matter. Left foot, right foot. He just had a shot with his right. That time with his left foot, just couldn't quite bend it around. But look at his appetite. Look at the way he opens up for him. And he's just trying to guide that round, but hits it like a knuckleball rather than getting his foot round it. Right foot, left foot, it doesn't matter.
The weight of the South Korean expectations falling squarely on that man's shoulders.
But he's done so well.
True
because,
superstar they have.
As I said, I touched on it earlier, where he's running in the channels, bringing paper. So as a defender, I'm going back now, because I think that's what he's going to do. Now, once I've done that, he's now coming short. So he's got me thinking, as a defender, I don't want to be thinking. I want to know where you are, what you're doing, and see if I can handle it.
That's the voice of the former Newcastle United and England defender Warren Barton. You played with and against some phenomenal players. You were telling me last night at dinner about some of them. My goodness.
Well, there's one that's one of our pundits, Thierry Henry. He was so difficult to play against. You know what the problem was when you played against Thierry Henry? He knew he was better than you, and that was even made it even worse.
You say it as if I'm supposed to know what that feels like, but none of us do. But we're glad to hear it from you, Warren.
Zlatan, you know he knows he's better than you. You know he knows he's better than anybody. But Thierry Henry, at times when he was at Monaco, but again, so intelligent. He'll run you behind a couple of times, then he'll come short, you come short, he'll go long. In the end, it was like, you know, to be fair, just do what you like. I'll try and pick up the pieces.
Well, coming up, it's the Visa halftime show on FS1. It feels as though this first half has absolutely flown by, even with the hydration break that was very much needed. Bearing in mind, it is super, super hot here local time. It's 8:41 p.m. in Guadalajara, to the west of Mexico.
Yeah, people may say there's not been too many opportunities, but you have to earn the right. And these players have been working so hard to get to they're not going to give things away. We see South Africa overplaying, trying to play out. It cost them. So players would have watched that game and think, right, we're just going to get to the half-time, make sure we're solid, make sure we're good, and then we can start feeling the game and enjoy it. We had South Korea had the good moments for the first 15-20 minutes, and maybe the break took the rhythm out of it.
Vladimir Coufal.
He's going for the far post, I think, on the back.
Another good-looking delivery from him. In by Soika. And this could go anywhere. Krejci leaving us a wonderful ball in from Zeleny. Really well dealt with by Lee Ki-hyuk. Going away rather hastily by Lee Tae-suk. Now where's it going? If they could just get a goal before half-time, after all the play, the positivity, the shots at goal South Korea have had. Oh, and they could be in here, and again, it doesn't fall for Schultz. Zeleny does really well. Turn away from Lee Kang-in.
Yeah, he's gone out of the game, Lee Kang-in. He's just, maybe fatigue's kicked in, he does look tired. It's the first time there's been a little bit of a panic in the heart of the defence for South Korea. They've just looked a little bit vulnerable, which that hasn't been something that we looked at. Now, whether that's tiredness, whatever it may be, or the constant, as you rightly said about Czechia, riding the wave, asking questions, grinding away.
It's a nice ball from Kranac, and now it's with Sojka. Schultz, and now Sojek. Son, winning the free kick.
That's one you don't mind. You do that as a defender. Just, oh, not going to get a card. It goes down, stops their momentum. We can get our shape. And a big challenge on that right-hand side as well. Well, the referee has just let the game flow. He hasn't really got involved too much.
Referee Amin Mohammed from Egypt. We like it when the game flows.
Yeah, and it's a physical game. There's part and parcel, you know.
Fabulous camera angle there of Provod. He's had a couple of moments, found some really useful pockets of space. Forward from Sol. Now they could be in here. Sol again. Trying to pick out his teammate, but away by Zeleny.
Sometimes as well, Jackie, when you get into them areas, which I've done, you don't have to pick anywhere out. Just pull it into an area and then hopefully your teammate gets on the end of it. I think sometimes they're trying to be too precise. Just put it in there. Just ask a question.
Peik.
Look how quickly as well Czechia get back. You know, they're not a team where they leave people up front. There's not too many holes around.
Hwang In-beom looking for Sol. Now Schultz for Czechia. Oh, and Schultz giving it back, but not how he needed it from the youngster Sojka.
Just think that, you know, both coaches will be okay, they'll be fine. They say we've had moments. I think they're not going to be too disheartened about their players. Here he goes again. Look, just chasing the lost calls. You know, just make a decision. Then they're going to squeeze in. Can they win it? You know, that's another side of the game you don't see. We see the goals, left foot, right foot, striking the ball, but it's that work rate that you touched on with certain players. You know, that's what makes the elite players. They don't give up. They don't give up on lost causes. They make an opportunity and it gets his team up the field again.
We're into a minimum of 3 minutes added on at the end of this so far goalless first half, but one that South Korea have dominated in terms of possession, though not as significantly as in the earlier stage of the game. They've had 6 attempts at goal to the 2 of Czechia. They certainly look the likelier side to score. Lee Kang-in and Son.
I'm not sure.
The heart of much of it.
I think you're right, possession, and we've seen Son drop a little bit deeper and get into the game, but don't like Czechia up. They're good right away.
Oh, it's a really useful pocket of space from Son. He thought about going himself, and Son a little too far ahead of him. Another promising move from South Korea that they cannot finish off. Now Kim. Now Lee Tae-sok. Krejci will deal with this.
It's brilliant play again, so intelligent, you know, dropping deep, thinking you're going to have a shot. Again, making them make a decision. He touched on the point, is it his last World Cup? I hope not. He still looks fit, he looks sharp enough. I know it's the first game, and I know the excitement, but as Kylie Lloyd rightly said, when you play for your country, you seem to step up a little bit more, and he does it with abundance.
He's looked likelier to score as the half has worn on. Son Heung-min, a player so beloved in England with his time at Tottenham, and not just from the Spurs fans. They could be in here again, and it's Peik. And Sojka doing brilliantly to get back there, the midfielder. Right place, right time, right challenge. And now here's Hwang In-beom. Son not given an inch by Chalupek. Oh, and the strike from distance from Hwang In-beom.
Very optimistic.
Is that frustration, Warren?
No, I just think it's is one of them where you think, take a chance, and why not? He's not known for his shooting ability, but he's getting further up the field. As we said with the ball, the altitude, it could move a little bit different, but he was very optimistic there.
The air is rather thinner up here, and we are intrigued to see how that plays out in the second half. A reminder that South Korea have been based in Utah for their pre-tournament camp, similar kind of altitude to here. They played a couple of friendlies. They were criticised really for playing against Trinidad and Tobago. Didn't put too much of a challenge up. 5-0 victory there, and then 1-0 against El Salvador. But Coach Hong saying, well, they just wanted the players really to get acclimatised, that's it, and that's the end of the first half. No goals. Thoughts, Warren Barton?
No, thoroughly enjoyed it. We've built up Song about his ability. He's really shone. Schick hasn't been able to get a great hold of the ball, but by and large, very even, we say, but I'm sure second half things will open up.
Okay, we'll have full analysis after the break when Rob Stone and the gang will be back with a Visa halftime show.
So on this first one, I'll knock, you talk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi. I'm your neighbor.
We're having a watch party.
You like to come?
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. Hey, Alex, what's up?
Hello, welcome. Come on in, guys.
Unlimited home internet that keeps everyone connected. When the connection matters, it has to be AT&T.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Please be Beckham. Please be Beckham. Please be Beckham.
Yes, I got me. I got a Beckham.
Collect one of 9 legendary cups with the FIFA World Cup meal.
Early start here for Adams. Sensodyne, brilliant touch. Volterra now with relief. And Tums looking to counter-attack. It's Tyler Adams! Every goal starts with an assist.
Every Walmart Plus member knows free delivery means unexpected guests of any size are not a problem. Carl looks like he can eat.
He's a machine. This is why I'm a Walmart Plus member. Groceries delivered free today.
You guys seeing what I'm seeing?
Carl makes me sneeze. Good thing pharmacy delivery is free too. Who knew?
Mom knew.
With Walmart Plus, I can handle the rest. It's worth it.
What a beautiful animal. I see you, Carl.
Let's come together. And it's a good afternoon on this beautiful day for Premier League football.
Guinness, official beer of the Premier League.
The Furious, rated R.
Wednesday, July 15th, who will be the nation's dumbest?
Spell guarantee. G-A. Oh, it's G-U.
12 celebrities get schooled.
Idiot.
Nation's Dumbest premieres Wednesday, July 15th on Fox.
Music's always been a part of my life. I love music. Like a song always kind of brings you back.
Woo, Big Willie.
It's no
Nice shot.
mystery. You don't need a hard
I feel like life is all about living through little moments. Little moments with your family, little moments with your friends. You know, music's always a part of that.
All right, come on.
love and go. And I'll find it yet if I may be so bold.
I'll give you my bike if you can prove you know your finances.
Sure.
How many subscriptions are you paying for right now?
I don't know, like 4.
Let's download Rocket Money and we'll see if you're right. Okay, it actually looks like you're paying for 15, which is costing you $290 a month.
What? No way. Where are you getting this information?
Rocket Money has all your expenses in one place, and it even helps you create a budget based on your past spending. Don't worry about those subscriptions. You can cancel the ones you don't want right from the app, and it'll even try to get you a refund on some of them.
That's actually pretty helpful.
Download Rocket Money today.
The FIFA World Cup 2026 halftime show on Fox is presented by Visa.
South Korea and Czechia scoreless at the break in the second match of the day, and the second match of this 2026 FIFA World Cup. Spirits still pretty high for both sets of fans in Guadalajara, 0-0 after 45 minutes. Welcome back inside our World Cup studio here at Fox Sports. Rob Stone, Carly Lloyd, Clint Dempsey, and Stu Holden with you tonight. Czechia back on the stage for the first time since 2006, and it took them a bit to get their World Cup legs under them as South Korea really jumped on them early, still scoreless at the break, but the South Koreans had the better of the opportunities.
They did. They were pressing some of the good balls from the wide areas, little combination play that they hit in and around the box. They were shooting from distance as well with some great opportunities. This one I love. Lee Kang-in is one of the brighter players on the field. He just drifts inside here, finding some space behind that midfield from Czechia, unleashes this one. Fairly comfortable save. That was the spell at the beginning, Carly, where they were really on top.
Oh, yeah, they were bringing it to him, and we talked in the pregame just how good Son is, just finding that half space, and he's just so unpredictable. I mean, weaving in and out of players, great left-footed shot.
He has a team-high 5 shots on just 21 touches. Earlier today, over on Fox, FIFA President Gianni Infantino.
Yeah, bad mistake here from Sid Hole. Great pressing by South Africa, and Quinones with the first goal of the tournament. When you hit the ball hard and low, good things happen.
Problems with playing it out of the back. It'll sting you sometimes.
And this was just great link-up play by Mexico. Jimenez, he's just kind of on this back shoulder of the defender. Wide open. Not missing from that distance. Great goal.
His 46th international goal. Great start for co-host Mexico, a 2-0 win. They currently sit on top of Group A. With the second game level right now, we give them each a point with your live standings. So South Korea, Czechia tied for second, South Africa in the cellar. We talked about the great 15-minute start for South Korea. It looks to you like they just want this one a little bit more?
Yeah, and I think, we were talking about formations, and are they coming out in a 3-back? They look like a 5-3-2. But, I think they've been the better team. They've been taking it to them. You can tell they want the win. And Son, just been one of the best players on the pitch, been so effective in finding those half spaces, being unpredictable. The only thing missing is a goal, and I think he's going to score one in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, with the way Mexico played in the first game, it kind of put the pressure on these two teams tonight and whether or not they're going to go for it. I think if you want to keep destiny in your own hands, the team that wins tonight really sets themselves up to battle for that top spot in the group or second to make sure they get out.
I think you're right, but then I think about it within the game of, is it more natural for Korea to go for it or Czechia? And then you find yourself going for it. You open yourselves up at the back. That doesn't feel in Czechia's nature, the way that they play. They're going to play for set piece. They're going to try and grind you down. I think Korea might get a little excited that they have an opportunity to find that goal, but then does it hurt them on the counterattack? But they have more quality in the attack for sure, and it feels so close for Son.
Tomorrow, the two other co-hosts in action. That includes the U.S. They begin their campaign against Paraguay. We're going to hear from U.S. manager Mauricio Pochettino on his pre-game approach. That's coming up after the break.
We practice this. Stick to the glass. No improv, no theatrics. Just head the ball.
These players are doing whatever they want all the time. We need to control this. He's not even listening to me. Don't talk to me. Guys, we're filming you.
Estoy a esto.
I knew you, but I didn't know your name. Hey, what are you doing?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Come on! 5 minutes. Going down to 4. About 3. You had 1.
Man, can we leave?
Here's the cross. Go!
Falling in love with you.
Is David's backyard ready for the FIFA World Cup? Maybe he'll
build it like Beckham,
paint it like Patricia, flip it like Rich, plant it like Paige,
or watch it all happen just like Josh.
Very happy to help.
Get your game on and try new Dr. Pepper Tic Tac.
Buy any 2 Ferrero brands, and you could win $1 million.
The sun can shine or the rain can fall. It doesn't really matter at all. If it's cold or hot, it's a beautiful day. It's the rainbows and if the kids are okay.
Hurry into your dealer today to get a great offer on a new 2026 Volkswagen Atlas.
Without T-Mobile 5G home internet, this place is spooky.
That's just our T-Mobile home internet delivery.
Now you can get the fastest 5G home internet with same-day delivery, powered by DoorDash.
See? Nothing to be scared of.
Get T-Mobile 5G home internet delivered the same day, powered by DoorDash. Just $35 a month.
Relax. I also got my new phone delivered the same day.
Everything all right? I heard screaming.
Los Angeles is where the U.S. kicks off their World Cup campaign against Paraguay tomorrow. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Eastern over on Fox. Here's Mauricio Pochettino and what he plans to tell the players pregame.
No, I am in the opposition. To build the way to, to prepare. Already decided. I don't know if they know. Because if they know, you are going to start to call them.
Pochettino talking about the starting 11 on that last soundbite. U.S.-Paraguay, the second match tomorrow. Earlier in the day, co-host Canada, they begin their campaign in Toronto, taking on Bosnia-Herzegovina. Coverage of that one also live on Fox, and that one begins at 1 Eastern. Moment of the Half is sponsored by Visa. No goals yet between South Korea and Czechia, but Lee Han-bum had one of the best chances with this header. Second 45 from Guadalajara on the backside.
Not bad. You guys see this?
Controls the ball. Cuts on to his left. And it's...
DoorDash. So, I ran some numbers. You guys might want to consider moving.
Sing worse?
I doubt it.
These shall ease your grievous throat most readily.
Or maybe a saltwater gargle.
Sold. Congratulations, sir. That is a new record.
You realize a JPEG doesn't count as a financial plan, right?
Maybe. I mean, yes. No?
PNC Bank believes a little boring advice goes a long way.
Powerade has 50% more electrolytes than the leading sports drink. And Powerade is the official sports drink of FIFA World Cup. Power your legacy with Powerade.
Bryce Harper and the Phillies. Christian Yelich and the Brewers. Saturday at 7 Eastern on FS1.
Tomorrow on Fox.
Sensational!
Christian Pulisic and the U.S. kick off their World Cup dream on a huge night of music, stars, and celebration in L.A. It all begins with a 3-hour pregame special. Tomorrow on Fox.
I won this skydiving package on Deal Dash.
Lori won $2,000 Tiffany earrings for just $1, and Joseph won an iPad for just $6. There's millions of fast auctions. So try today at DealDash.com for $50 of free credit and your first win guaranteed.
Ta-da! Not what I was expecting.
IKEA?
IKEA.
Pick up at your local store or choose from thousands of pickup locations at IKEA.us, all at a great price. IKEA, dream the possibilities.
We wanted a product that looked like real wood, but maybe didn't have the same wear and tear as real wood.
We put this whole decking together ourselves. It looks amazing, and now the family can enjoy it for years to come. That's one of the things that we're so excited about.
Crown Nuggets are back at Burger King, and you're never too old to get your crown on. Let kids rule with the $3.99 kids meal, or get the 8-piece for you.
FIFA World Cup 2026 on Fox is presented by Lay's.
Welcome back to Guadalajara for our Fox Sports FS1 coverage of South Korea versus Czechia. We're back underway with no changes for either side. And Jackie Oatley alongside former England defender Warren Barton. What do you reckon the approach should be from either side this second half, Warren?
Yeah, I think for South Korea in particular is to play with a lot more of a quicker tempo. It's easier said than done with the altitude and the humidity of the game, but pass the ball a little bit quicker, a little bit more incisive to what they're doing. Don't rely on that ball in the channels for Song. And as I said, and you touched on it, Jackie, in the first half, Czechia started feeling comfortable in their environment. They started getting on the ball. They started mixing things up. They looked the more comfortable team going in at half-time. So there would have been a lot of positivity in their talk. You know, and don't forget, it was only March when they qualified, so they're riding on a real high. You know, every journalist who we spoke to yesterday and today when we was in the hub, it was all positivity. They're happy to be here. So they're riding on an emotional wave.
Well, they came through 2 penalty shootouts in March, didn't they, against Denmark and against the Republic of Ireland. So cruel for those two to be knocked out, but their despair was Czechia's elation, joy, so happy to be here. Now Lee Kang-in, who only started 18 of 34 league games for Paris Saint-Germain this season, and so he's been linked with a move to Atletico Madrid, strongly linked today for some more game time.
Yeah,
that's a bad move to make.
No, that's a good point as well, because like you said, at PSG, obviously winning the Champions League back-to-back, he's going to find it hard to break into that team, and that's maybe where the first 20 minutes he was riding on that emotional wave where he was getting on the ball, and then he drifted out of the game. So he's not had a lot of playing time recently, particularly with the manner of the games that they've had, although domestically they have.
Oh, nice turn from Soika. Sorry, Warren. It's promising from Czechia. Zeleny. Had some lovely touches in the first half. Now here's Souček. Soika. Surprise inclusion. Schultz wins a corner.
He'll be a joy to play with, Schultz, because he's busy, he's lively, he'll chase things, he gives you the ball, he wants it again. And on the opposite side, he's a nightmare to play against because he doesn't stand still, he doesn't stop running around. I want to know what he's had for breakfast.
We talked about set pieces of Czechia ahead of this game. They have an opportunity here. Good looking delivery, and it's away intelligently by Kim Min-jae. Now Son. Talking of intelligence, but crowded out. Krejci loses out. Now here's Son. Lee Kang-in. Seoul. Korea ranked 15 places above Czechia in their 11th consecutive World Cup finals, 12 in total. 20 years since Czechia were playing on this stage. They've settled in, they have some defending to do. Oh, what a save! And once again, South Korea denied.
Well, it's wonderful play again. We said about being passing, incisive with their movement. But again, we talk about the defending and the saving and the players blocking shots. It's at the highest level.
Lee Jae-sung, the Mainz man, so close. There he is again. Nice play again by Zeleny, an intelligent ball. And Hover tried to return the favour.
But he knows the disappointment there, Bobo. When he got it, could he have maybe played it into that space in behind? But again, with South Korea, when they do pass the ball short distances, you know, watch how this angle, pass, move. Where's the opportunity? And then trying to anticipate. But there's that one, the first save, but then good defending again. Making sure that you're switched on. Sometimes as a defender, you switch off and you always see an attacker put it in there, but you can't afford to make a mistake at this level.
Oh, now just listen to the noise here with all the South Korea supporters as Son drives forward. On by Lee Tae-suk.
And that's the problem. When Son comes so deep, they get into areas, there's no one to fill that space in. Now, you need a midfield player or maybe the opposite wing-back to try and make that run. But that's a long distance that he has to come across. But that's the problem they're going to have, South Korea, when they do play the strikers coming deep. They haven't got another personnel to get in the box.
Well, you see that QR code in front of you. You can scan that to vote for the Michelob Ultra Superior Player of the Match. I wonder who that's going to prove to be. Very difficult to pick out who's going to win this game, but Son, once again, at the heart of the action. You mentioned the lack of striker for South Korea. That has been one of the weaknesses of this squad. They don't have depth in that department. It was unclear whether Son would play as centre-forward here or just off the other two, with Lee Kang-in and Lee Jae-sung. They don't have a Patrik Schick or anything approaching that kind of level of strike, although he's not had many opportunities tonight at the other end.
But credit to Czechia, they've done their homework. Anytime it goes in, they're dropping off. So we know with South Korea, their strikers, they want to try and make that little penetrating run in behind, but there's no space. So that's where Song has showed his experience and his intelligence. There's no space in behind, so I'm going to come to feet. He needs one of his midfield players, or as I said, a wing-back, to make that extra run.
Asking more questions here, South Korea.
Or do what they just did a minute ago, keep passing it and then try and have a shot from outside the box.
So Czech concedes a free kick. Stripped of the captaincy by the Czech FA rather than the coach. After failing to acknowledge those travelling supporters in Gibraltar, a few of the players did. It was a really big deal in Czechia at the time. They're fuming with them. Hence, Ladislav Krejci now has the armband, described by Kobek as a natural leader. Something his teammates didn't particularly have at Wolverhampton Wanderers this year. As they got equally relegated as Souček's West Ham.
I didn't want to bring that up because I know I want to keep on your good side, because I know things like that get to you, particularly what's going on at the club at the moment.
Well, they haven't got a manager at the moment, have they, after Rob Edwards was rather surprisingly sacked, surprising timing-wise, that is, while he was on holiday. He knew nothing about it till he read it on social media. Modern football, hey?
And also think now, Jackie, with the coaches, like we're just down to our right-hand side. Czechia's players, there's 4 or 5 of them really getting warmed up. So it is that time of the game that you start thinking, well, give it another 5-10 minutes. Do we start changing? The systems won't change, but maybe the personnel will give the other players the opportunity, particularly with the conditions that they're playing in.
Miroslav Kobek right on the edge of his technical area, the 74-year-old Czech head coach in his first World Cup. Very animated, wanting more from his players.
He's enjoying it. I think he's really, I mean, this is his 5th game in charge, and now he finds himself 74 years of age at the biggest stage.
His coaching career started in 1983, and only one player in this entire tournament was alive at the time. And that was Craig Gordon, goalkeeper for Scotland. Here's Lee Kang-in, who does hold the key, trying to unlock the door of this Czech defence.
Yeah, he's got to want the ball more. And again, just noticing his body language, and he's laid it off and then he's got his hands on his hips. He's just standing still. I don't know whether it's the conditions or how he feels, but there was no coincidence in the first 15, 20 minutes. When he got on the ball, there was a spark about the way they played.
So they're looking for Son all the time. And it could be in here, Lee Jae-sung. And now Son! Kovar coming up big. At a vital moment.
Just took a second too much. Again, he's always playing on the shoulder. As it comes in, he's onside. Now take it. But he doesn't. He lets the ball run, and that gives the keeper enough chance. I'm thinking now, as it's here, hit it. Because the goalkeeper can't get set. But because he takes that split second, it gives him enough time to close out. Yes, he's pleased with the build-up. Yes, he's pleased with the movement. But just that second just allows the defender to come across and goalkeeper to smother the angle. But he's got a wonderful delivery from set pieces as well.
Son couldn't score. Can he provide?
He's still got his head in his hands. He knows. He'll be thinking, I just took a second. And as I said earlier, that's just enough time for someone to make a decision or you not to capitalise. Because if he takes it early, Jack, the keeper's already coming out. There's a big angle on that left-hand side, and it's in the back of the net. But
well, they're asking more questions. Lee Kang-in.
They're much better when they do 2-3 touches, pass it around.
Son struggled for goals in MLS this season, didn't score any in 13 appearances, 12 of them starts, and that's after 12 in 13 in the league last season. But as the guys were saying in the pre-match show, he did provide plenty of assists, just didn't find the back of the net himself. Now, nice play by Paik.
Changed his mind. There were 15 different decisions in his mind there when he got through. But they're starting, again, South Korea, to start getting a feel of the ball. And it's no coincidence, just after half-time, you allow that 10 minutes or so. That's when you get your second wind.
Schultz. Really talented player, Pavel Schultz. Soufal.
Yeah, that's a poor delivery.
By his standards.
Yeah, and he was doing a lot of that before the kickoff. They was getting it wide and he was just delivering it near the penalty spot. But when you put too much air on the ball, but again, there's no hesitation when they do get it into that wing back earlier, Czechia, that they are going to deliver the ball.
Krejci, 6'3" of him, but he got his leap all wrong there, and it's back in. Oh, Souček was waiting for it. It just didn't fall for him.
I was looking at Schultz as well. I think he thought it was going to be in the back of the net.
The president surveying the scene. Oh, it's a useful one! And it's another set-piece goal for Czechia! They're first in the World Cup for 2 decades! here's the captain, Ladislav Krejci. All 6'3" of him, who scored in both playoff matches. And he's come up with a massive goal here against South Korea.
Well, we know with set pieces, the timing on the run is brilliant. They're going to look obviously at every goal for the offside. Does he interfere? But look at him, it's a free run from the edge of the box, and it's a wonderful header. The timing is everything, and because you're static as a defender, you can't get your body across, you can't get the arm across, and it's in the back of the net before they know it. But because he gets that run, because he comes from the back end of the defender, they can't pick him up. He's run from the edge of the 18-yard box. You've got to try and block him off, but what a header. You touched on it, Jackie, scored in the playoffs, and now he's done it again. That's maybe why he's the captain.
Here's the South Korea captain, Son Heung-min, who's come so close to opening the scoring tonight. But it's his opposite number in the Czech side, Ladislav Krejci, following his new Wolverhampton Wanderers teammate, Raul Jimenez, on the score sheet at this World Cup after his goal for co-host Mexico earlier. Now the urgency from South Korea.
And as I said, Jack, I think they're much better with the urgency. That little bit of desperation. But again, how important is this World Cup going to be on set pieces? We've seen it in a lot of the major leagues in Europe, and particularly any the Premier League, where you've seen it, a team won the title by a lot of set pieces. And I think this tournament will be. And that's something that Korea have worked on. The coach has said, we spent hours on the training field.
It's nicely done by South Korea. What about the response here? Lee Jae-sung was on the end of it, having been heavily involved in the build-up. There's serious activity on the bench for Czechia. Right in front of us, looks as though Thomas Horry's coming on.
There's two things, Jackie, that from my look at Czechia is that they can't get complacent and sit back, invite pressure on, so they've got to have that discipline. And then for South Korea, don't force it. You've still got lots of time to get back in this game.
Lovely ball from Sofal. Can't stay down, and Kim Min-jae was
he's
saying,
furious.
Where's the flag?
Yeah, he's furious. And they've got the ball and just allowed it to go. And that's what they've got to do, is still keep that discipline. So that's a hard ball for Song. You've got to feed it round the corner, not just ping it down the middle. You've got to have a little bit of shape on the ball.
Now the first change is going to be Ladislav Krejci's teammate from Wolverhampton Wanderers, Hwang Hee-chan, looking to become the third Wolves player maybe to get on the score sheet today. I promise I'm not biased, I'm just saying. And it is a player who's been heavily involved today, Lee Jae-sung, who gets a breather. But a hat-trick of changes to come for Czechia too. Adam Hlošek coming on, so too Thomas Horry. Now here's Provod. Michal Sadilek as well. Scored the winning penalty to get them to this stage. And the whistle does blow. Amin Mohammed, the referee, who's been very much in the background today. Rather different story in the opening match, wasn't it, in Mexico City, 350 miles away from us. Now 1-0 up and 3 fresh faces. Pavel Schultz has worked incredibly hard today, Warren.
Yeah, he's been excellent. You know, he's worked extremely hard. I think we sort of should maybe drop deeper, then they'll have a lone striker. So here go, and maybe not have the energy to run in behind. They're changing their front line, taking off some experienced players as well.
Provod being saved for another day, and here is Adam Hlošek of Hoffenheim. Domestic teammates with Vladimir Sofal and defender Robin Hranach as well.
Well, here's sitting the hole. Here's sitting there again to be that supporting cast player to get forward. And that's a big call to take arguably one of your better players off quite early on in the game. I can understand maybe with 10 minutes ago, but that's quite a big call for the coach to make.
Doesn't never quite know what sort of niggles a player might be carrying.
Yeah. But just he looked physically okay, and he actually looked happy that he was being took off, but only
Probably
time
so he can get a breather and actually breathe some fresh air, maybe.
You know as well, Jackie, with the modern game, is that some players like manage minutes. You know, it's not just looking at how they feel. They've got games coming along and with the conditions. So it might even be that they said, right, we're going to do this at this time.
Well, the co-host Mexico play here against South Korea on Thursday. And then they face South Africa in Monterrey next Wednesday. As for Czechia, they face South Africa next in Atlanta, and then Mexico on Wednesday in Mexico City.
Well, if you remember, Jackie, when we were speaking to some of the South Korea journalists, one of the emphases they said to us is that they don't like to concede the first goal. They don't like to chase the game. They want to be in control of it. So what Czechia have done is put a goal in front of them. Now, they've put them out their comfort zone. They've got to now try and force the game.
So far recovering quickly. So much experience. Lee Kang in. And Son had made the run.
Just how big was that opportunity that he missed? You know, that's the This World Cup could be won, lost, and particularly in the opening games as well.
Here's Hwang Hee-chan, who scored a big goal for them against Portugal in Qatar 4 years ago. A winning goal in that game. Peak.
Just look at the white shirts. Because there's no movement in front, it's easy for them. One slides in, I'll come back in my spot. I go to the ball, you cover me inside. They've got to make it more intricate how they did before to try and get in the game.
Oh, it's a good run, a really good run. Surely it's the equaliser. And it's there. Hwang In-bom levels matters for South Korea. The majority of supporters inside this stadium have South Korea shirts on. And they have rapturously welcomed that goal from Hwang In-bom.
Well, the journalists next to us are going crazy. They're jumping up and down, they're enjoying it, and rightly so. Look at the skill and look at the composure. And then that deft little touch just to skip off the surface and go into the back of net. I said they need to make a run in behind, but look at the technique, look at the awareness. Bodies have gone down, he's not going to take another touch, he doesn't need to. And that little delightful chip just over the top. What a moment, what a goal.
And finally, South Korea have made one of their chances count. They've had multiple opportunities. Each one has gone begging for various reasons.
Well, again, they showed good composure, got the ball, but that little run in behind, you can see the relief from him, because he knows he's under pressure. He knows if they don't get a result, there's going to be more and more questions asked.
Lee Tae-sok, the left wing back, has gone off. Coming on, Heung-min of Besiktas in Turkey. And Son going off as well. He has worked incredibly hard tonight.
He has, but just his body language, he's still thinking about his opportunity. He'd be delighted and he'd be grateful that they've got back into the game, but you could just tell with his body language, he knew that was a big opportunity for him to score. Maybe with no goals in MLS, all strikers want to come into a tournament with some form, but his team have helped him out.
And here is the hydration break we have in the middle of each half here at this World Cup, and we'll be back in just a moment.
And there it was, the first great American yell, echoing like a sonic boom across history. This country didn't tiptoe onto the world stage. Hell no. We were born loud. Liberty is loud, baby. Something to say? Say it. Something to prove? Prove it. Because in this country, in loud we trust.
Two croissants, please.
I got this one. You should use the Active Cash Visa credit card from Wells Fargo.
Good call. I'd love to pay.
Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. That's scoring like a 2%er. The Active Cash Visa credit card from Wells Fargo. Terms apply.
I think they gave me a yellow card once.
The FIFA World Cup is back, America, so jump on the bandwagon. Hey, Marshawn, hop on, buddy.
You know I'm more of a football dude.
You can call it that, too?
That's good enough for me. I'm out.
David Beckham! Do you fancy salt and vinegar? Who cares? Just pick another team.
Stay right, stay right.
David, wrong side! If this ain't winning the FIFA World Cup, I don't know what is.
When you dare to combine sweet and tart, you get a Sweet Tarts rope that's so sweet, you'll pucker. Sweet Tarts, dare to combine.
I can see you.
This is Disclosure Day.
Disclosure Day. Rated PG-13. Get tickets now.
Well, both sets of players felt they needed that hydration break. You'd imagine it is super intense heat-wise here. Even at 9:30 p.m. in Guadalajara to the west of Mexico. And you think that hydration break came at an opportune time for South Korea, Warren?
Yeah, just looking at the coach, having his team, and because of the euphoria of getting back into the game, it just calmed everybody down. And I like it. If I was a coach, I'd love to have a couple of minutes with my team halfway through a game, just to get your points across, just to calm everybody down and make sure that you're organised, and you're always vulnerable once you've just scored. So I just think it gives them enough time to reset.
You say they want that break, but surely it depends on what's happening in the game. And if your side has the momentum with them, they don't want the break.
No, but I still think as a coach, I would want to have time. Even if things are going well, you can still fine-tune things. You've seen Pep Guardiola do it when there's been opportunities.
Oh, the tails really are up. He's fuming with himself. Paik. Well, we're so looking forward to tomorrow when the United States opens up their World Cup facing off against Paraguay. That's on Fox tomorrow, of course. Our coverage starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. What's the score going to be, Warren?
Well, with Paraguay as well, no one's really talking about them and how they're going to handle that environment. Are they going to end up like South Africa, where the occasion's too much? Almiron, we know, is a talented player, and they've got some players in there that can upset the US, but for me it is about the US, how that midfield trio can work together. Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, they've got a good balance, play with energy, and the atmosphere is going to be wonderful. And the build-up beforehand, the 3 hours before show is going to be pretty good.
Little moment there. for Kim Sung-gyu.
Don't panic, it's all under control.
This game really could go either way, and this is how we like it.
But I thought that beforehand, because there's so a contrast of how each other plays. I'm not saying Czechia are just about set pieces, but there is a predominant lineage in how they play, and they're quite physical in what they do. And then you've got South Korea that, you know, want to play combination, want to go in behind, want to hurt you in certain areas. They're not a Spain that will just pass and pass and pass. They want to go 2-3 passes and then get in behind, and that's how they got the goal. But, you know, Mexico, they've set the bar. They, you know, clean sheets, 3 points.
1 red card for them, 2 for South Africa. Pretty contentious ones as well. Did you agree with them all?
Well, I wasn't sure with the last one, but when Mark Clattenburg said about it, I thought, okay.
Oh, ooh, he's taking his time again, my goodness.
Once Mark explained what it was, then okay, it's the letter of the law.
It's also the interpretation.
Yes. We spoke about South Korea, how they responded. Now, what did Czechia do? They took off some key players. Again, I knew it was early to do that.
We do have Dr. Joe Macknick standing by should there be any contentious decisions, but the game really has flown tonight, and flowed as well.
And you know why? We've not had to mention the ref. I think it's always a good sign of a game in any competition, whether it's the NBA player finals that we're having now or whatever it is. If you don't mention the officials, it's a pretty good game.
And Adam Hlošek winning the free kick, and we said about set pieces for Czechia. They scored from one. It was a throw-in and a thundering header from skipper Ladislav Krejci that time. And now they have a free kick in a dangerous area by their standards.
And they've just put a striker on who's 6'6", so you know that another weapon they can use from here. Again, delivery, beat the first man, put it into that far post area, and then just crash in there and try and get on the end of it.
Yeah, that's Thomas Hory, the number 19 for Czechia. Plenty of height, the 6'4" Thomas Souček as well. Ladislav Krejci's already scored with his head from that Soufal throw-in.
And again, what South Korea do, they have a high line, so there's plenty of space to put in behind.
The assistant referee is on high alert here. And it's whipped in, it's dangerous again! And it's another set piece for Czechia. And it is Thomas Souček this time, but the assistant is waving his flag, and the Czechs have been denied.
They're just waiting as well to make sure that when the ball is played, that is the key instant, and there we go. You touched on it, Jackie. You said about the referee's assistant being alert, being alive, and he has got it spot on. Quebec, he can't understand it, he thinks, but there was 1 or 2 players already in an offside position, but they do look, they do check.
Well played, Mahmoud Abdul Regal of Egypt, who had to have his eyes looking in 2 places at once. And Tomasz Souček was indeed offside. And it's still 1 apiece.
Yeah. But again, doesn't it just show how, don't give silly free kicks away. Otherwise, you're giving the opportunity, particularly to a team that work so diligently on this and making sure that they do ask questions and do put the ball into a good area.
Lee Kang-in with the dancing feet, the PSG man. Oh, this is beautiful.
Give him the ball. He should come off the field at the end of it thinking, I don't want to see another soccer ball again, because if I'm playing with him, give him the ball.
Really nicely done. Oh, and it's not cleared. by Zeleny that time. Excellent play, though, by the substitute on. He plays for Swansea in the Championship, in the English League, Welsh club. He's known as an impact sub, a real 1v1 threat, and he showed it there.
Yeah, good ability. Seems to be a dying art of the game now. One-on-one, we see like wide players always get it, stop, go back to their fullback, go back to their midfield players. And taking people on, expressing yourself. And I think particularly with this World Cup, we're going to see abundance of ability. Oh, what a lovely little ball that is.
Oh, they're in again! And it's, oh, the substitute! South Korea have come from behind. Their substitutes have made a major impact in this game.
Two balls, this one round the corner, he's clearly onside, they're keeping him onside, and then the next ball. As I said before, you don't have to look at anybody, just put it into an area and hopefully he attacks it, which he does. And I just love the way he just opens his body up. He lets his momentum hit the ball. He doesn't try and kill the ball's been played in, just put it into an area. He does that, and his teammate doesn't disappoint. Let the ball come across and just let the momentum take it into the back of net. What a response.
Well, the noise inside this stadium in Guadalajara now. So many red-shirted South Korea supporters. We haven't seen too many from Czechia here. They're either wearing the green of Mexico or the red of South Korea. And you can hear how they felt about that comeback goal. Krejci.
I think two brilliant goals as well from South Korea. The individual balance and technique and composure to put it in there, then the little flick round the corner, play the ball into an area and let someone get an end of it. Here we go, set pieces there, they got their first goal.
Yeah, it's from a very similar position. Wonderful throw in from Vladimir Sufal.
Just looking as well, there's two or three players just on the edge of the box who are going to make that run in there, so it's difficult to pick them up.
Sufal with another long throw. Oh, another dangerous one! Oh.
What a save.
Fabulous save from Kim Sung-gyu. He barely had a fraction in which to see it.
I don't think there's anyone in this stadium sitting down at the moment because it's just so finely balanced. There's absolute chaos going on in the penalty area.
Oh, it's another dangerous one, but the referee spotted a push in the melee. He's having none of it.
And that's one of the things they're going to really clap down on, is pushing and holding in the penalty area. But look at this, look at the movement he gets across through the legs and just pushes it away. I mean, we talk about agility, a little deflection, he puts out there, he's big, he puts it, palms it around the post. What a big moment that is. He thinks the pushing and shoving that's going on because he couldn't quite attack the first ball. Jackie, hold on to your hats because we're going to have a bumpy ride the next 10 minutes. Czechia have proven in the playoffs they do not give up. Both of their games went to penalties, kept asking the questions.
2-2 draws in both of those playoffs, the semi-final and the final against Denmark and the Republic of Ireland. Now another couple of substitutions for South Korea. Paik coming on, off. Kim Jin-gyu, the defensive midfielder, coming on.
How good has he been?
So too Park Jin-seok. only player here to play in China. I always felt there was more goals in this game. Just had this air of it. Here's Czechia. Send on Moimir Chitl in place of Alexander Soyka, who won only his 3rd cap tonight. South Korea going for the jugular here. Goodness, has he been animated on that touchline in the technical area. Going absolutely potty.
Pavel Nedved there, what a legend he was.
Yeah, now director of football for Czechia.
Look at the high line again as well. There is so much space in behind. Look at them.
Oh, this assistant referee got an early night last night.
And the reason they're doing that, Jacob, because they don't want to get bullied in their own penalty area. They're getting up there, they'd rather challenge and then try and figure out the second ball. They don't want to get backed into their own area.
Soufal.
He's had a good game, Soufal. He's been really, really composed on the ball.
He's so consistent,
yes,
isn't he?
Yeah, he's always one of them players, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, wherever he's played.
Czechia certainly not giving up here. Here's Hwang Hee-chan, one of the substitutes. Another one having scored the goal that they hope will win it. Could they add to it? Here's On.
No, just keep hold of it first. Okay. Yeah, see, that's where you need composure. You know, you don't have to force anything at the moment, because you know with Czechia, if you put it behind, they're going to go forward. They've got a striker who's 6'6", and he's like a battering ram that just wants to get it and flick it on. And that's why they're getting so high up the field. They don't want him pinning them back. So just keep the ball. Don't force anything at the moment. You could just about see the finishing line.
A bit of pace on it.
Me and you have got the same thing. It was both like, oh no.
Right in line with that as well. Thinking we wouldn't want to take that there. It's exciting, this number 25 on the near touchline on. And his trickery. And he's ever willing, always available, keen to receive the ball since coming on. The Swansea man.
The problem is, though, with Czechia, now they've took off Schultz in particular, who wants to run in behind, got energy. They've got no pace going forward. They've got a tall striker that's going to hold them, but that will give them a little bit of belief. Just do your job, get rid of the ball and win the game.
If you're wondering about the name Czechia, by the way, I'll tell you about that in a moment as Lee Kang-in, PSG man, looks to be heading to Atletico Madrid. Looking to create again. It's a wonderful left foot. But it was basically 10 years ago that the Czech government said, well, we are Czechia, we're also Czech Republic, but in terms of sport, as it's given away really cheaply, we wanted to be called Czechia for sporting occasions. And now here's On again, driving at the Czech defence, Hwang Hee-chan, his fellow sub. Still Hwang Hee-chan.
Just couldn't quite get composed enough to hit a shot. And look at the red shirts funneling back as well. The three centre-halves haven't moved. They're standing exactly where they are. We see a couple of times earlier on with Mexico when they went forward. They could have, if there was a bit more quality, been caught out, but not South Korea. They're saying we're staying exactly where we are. Let the front six try and cause a little bit of havoc for the last few moments, but we ain't going anywhere. In the back of my mind now, so don't give away set pieces, and also obviously don't be sloppy at the back and give the ball away, particularly my goalkeeper.
Yeah, South Korea really need not to be giving away set pieces anywhere frankly on the pitch. They're just so adept at that.
Because in general play, they haven't got like a number 10, particularly because they took him off, that can find a pass.
Kalupek with the searching ball.
Did you notice who was one of the first ones to go and celebrate when they got the goal? It was Song out of the box, because he still got that feeling in his mind, that missed chance that he had, but he got up that field and went and supported everybody.
You're talking about the goalkeeper, and he's just punted that straight out of play, but he's looking at his teammates saying you weren't available.
See, that's what, you know, I would say to my goalkeeper, just kick the ball, keep it on the field and give us a chance. You know, he's maybe a little bit nervous, and again, it's a World Cup, so you're going to have that stage fright a little bit, but just do your job. You know, don't complicate it.
Kalupek.
This is not a time to be clever. You don't, you know, 6 minutes.
We've got to stoppage time already. This second half has absolutely flown by. A minimum of 6 minutes to be added on. And Miroslav Hobek, the 74-year-old, in his World Cup debut. On his side here for the first time in 20 years at this level. And how they had to battle to get here. Those two playoff matches after 2-2 draws, coming through penalty shootouts in each of them. Krejci scoring in each of them, and he scored here again tonight. And South Korea having come from behind.
Two contrasts with coaches as well, with the experience. You know, 5 games you've got on the other side. That's captain World Cup's been in 4 of them. The best ever was in 2002 when they hosted it. So he's been there, seen it, done it as a player and as a captain. Yes, we know he's under pressure from the media, but it's the fine lines now of how do you see the game out? And I love the fact that the defensive unit is not sitting back and inviting pressure.
Well, reputations can change. Oh, and that's a painful fall, a really hefty fall. Lee Ki-hyuk.
This is when you see the players fatiguing now. The last moments of the game, there's 2 or 3 Korean players, although they've been acclimatised, they've come out early, been into Utah with the altitude, but there's a lot of players getting cramped at the moment. And that's with the lack of oxygen getting into the blood system. The thinner air that you're playing, it doesn't seem a lot of mile up there, but you try and run around for 90+ minutes.
Kim Sung-kyu looking for Om. Well, the captain Son has had his chances tonight. The goals haven't flowed in MLS. Couldn't find the finishing touch here, despite having a couple of good opportunities, but he more than played his part. A real leader in this side. Now, what can Czechia do here? The substitutes combining. Oh, that's a chance! A big, big chance for the equaliser. Not really enough power on the strike.
Yeah.
Michal Sadilek.
Yeah, just choked the ball a little bit. Just tried to whip it around, and it was just in touching distance, forget it. But a little sign again. It was a battle, there's people on the floor, the ball bounces around. You just wonder if Czechia can get one clear chance. Could that have been it, or is it going to be a set piece like we've seen before? It's so important now for South Korea, particularly the forwards, to keep hold of the ball.
And South Korea could be in here again. Hwang Hee-chan wanted it.
Pass it. You had options out on your left-hand side. It's the decisions.
Kim Jin-gyu went alone. Now Hittel, Slavia Prague man. Oh, what a wonderful ball. Fabulous movement as well. Schick just couldn't make the contact he needed.
Now, Jackie, we talk about the offensive players, but I tell you what, South Korea's 3 centre-halves, particularly marshalled by their captain Kim, have been sensational. They've competed, they've kept their shape, they've challenged when they need to, they put blocks in, and more importantly, their positional sense has been excellent. They've squeezed up the field and made sure that they've not got pinned back and inviting pressure on.
A big moment for the sub, Michal Sadilek, who missed Euro 2024 after falling off his tricycle just 9 days before the tournament. Needing to make an impact here, having scored the winning penalty to get them here. And are they running out of time now? Less than a minute and a half of the allocated stoppage time remains. There could, of course, be more added on by our referee, Amin Mohammed. Hong hopes not.
I think wonder in his mind, Colbeck, you know, the substitutions that he made, I know sometimes it's out there, but you've got to get off to a good start.
We'll no doubt be asked about that afterwards, and whether there was a problem for the likes of Pavel Schulz, such a key attacking piece for them.
As I said, part of the modern game is people have made their mind up, okay, at this time we're going to take you off because of the intensity where you are. With all due respect, sometimes you just got to ask the player, I'm okay, I can keep going, give me another 5 minutes.
This is the end of the field that South Korea just want to keep the ball up for the next 30 seconds plus. And Czechia will not give up.
Well, you know where this is going as well. There's your yellow card as well.
The first of the game. After 3 reds and 3 yellows in the first game, had to wait till the last few seconds of this one.
Maybe you felt left out. Better start bringing them out. But again, this line, and there's a little, you see it coming, just a little bit of arm, made it a little bit of a meal of it. But again, this, I love it. I love the fact that they're confident and strong enough, and they've worked on set pieces. This has been something that they would have worked on. There's a trigger, there's a sign when they drop off.
Sadilek's delivery. Still they come again. Czechia. We're in stoppage time, at the end of stoppage time. This has to be it for Czechia. And that's the moment. It's all over. And South Korea are off to a winning start in Guadalajara. They've come from behind. And Czechia's first appearance at a World Cup finals for 2 decades has ended in defeat. Warren Barton.
Thoroughly enjoyed the game. Great character by South Korea. The players stood up, the coach made big calls, and they're off to a winning start. Don't write Czechia off as that. They've got a physical presence. They're going to cause teams problems.
Still a way to go. Reaction to come with Rob Stone in the studio in Los Angeles.
Jackie Warren, thank you. What a nightcap for day one. That was a fun one. With day one in the books, here's how Group A currently sits. Mexico, South Korea level on points. Mexico ahead on goal difference. Czechia, South Africa sitting on 0 points. We take you back to Guadalajara, and it was a comeback win for South Korea. Stu, on the evening, what impressed you the most about the Taeguk Warriors?
Well, really their resilience, because the first half they were the better team. They go in at 0-0. Come out in the second half, Czechia score a goal off a long throw, which we knew was their biggest strength. They've been a set-piece team all